welcome back to the African Diaspora News channel. I'm Rae. So coming out of Kampala, Uganda today, I came across a story that is quite sad of some Ugandan women who had gone to work in these Arab countries, to be specific in Jordan, and they have been imprisoned for more than 7 months. So I came across this story on a local blog on Facebook, and I'll just read for you the story the way it is. And then I'll share with you some thoughts about the story because I understand this situation. Please share these girls. They have been in jail for more than 7 months here in Jordan. We tried to contact the embassy for Saudi Arabia to help them, and they assured us that on 15th of August they'll be on the list of those going back to Uganda. Unfortunately, they did not take them. My worry is that Jordan very soon is going back into a lockdown again, and there will be no hope of them going back to Uganda until next year. Let the government of Uganda come out to help our girls. There are more than 400 girls in jail here in Jordan, but I have few of them, the photos. So these are the photos you've seen. So these are about 15 girls. I'll just keep playing them, and they have been in Jordan. So the thing is, Uganda, very many Ugandans, especially young men and women, go to Arab countries to look for work. There is quite a high rate of unemployment here in Uganda, so it is difficult to get a job, especially if you don't have a bachelor's degree. Ugandans in general are very well educated, so if you don't have a degree, you can't compete to get a job. So in most cases, people who have not studied very well to get a bachelor's degree, even those who have bachelor's degrees actually, all run away, some of them to Arab countries, in the Middle East to be specific. The most common countries where they go to is Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates. Yes, quite a number of them, to look for work, to look for survival, to make some money and keep sending it back home and keep saving. So where the challenge comes in, when majority of them go, usually they go through a third party, which is a recruitment company that connects them to a certain family where they're going to be working. Normally they're working as housemaids. That is the most common job for the ladies. And then the males usually work as guards, as security guards. So the women are the most vulnerable, unfortunately. I have not seen any stories of men who are vulnerable, but the women are most vulnerable. So what happens in most of the cases, they get mistreated by the family where they have been put to be hosted. When they get mistreated, most of these have run away because they are escaping a mistreatment. So when you run away, they file a case on you. Your employer that you are working for as a housemaid is going to report that you sent me this person to report to the company. They ran away, so I'm no longer in charge. Meaning, wherever you go to on the streets of this strange country, you are on your own. You are no longer in the hands of your employer. So when they end up in jail, this is a foreign country, then COVID-19 came, you can't make a phone call back home. Unfortunately, the Ugandan government is still very reluctant to fully open the borders. They do not allow people to come in through Entebbe International Airport. There is a specific schedule that they use to repatriate, foreigners or Ugandans who want to come back home. So there has been a lot of complaints, to try to rescue these Ugandans who are in the Middle East countries. But the most challenging bit of it is that some of them, or even majority of them, are unable to transport themselves back home because they have been in jail for more than 7 months, meaning they don't have means to buy a ticket to take them back home. So they need someone to rescue them, which should be the government, And when COVID-19 came, it made everything very, very difficult. Even those who are working for their bosses haven't been paid, because if the boss lost the job due to COVID-19, you are here working, they are also struggling, to provide for their family. So you end up not being paid. So the challenge here is the mainstream media, or the most popular channels of communication here in Kampala, do not report on these stories. These stories are only talked about by bloggers, on their personal pages and try to call out. But the biggest TV stations, do not address these issues, and they have been suffering so much. Most of them have died, some of them have died, some of them have committed suicide, some of them have gone crazy or gone mad because out of so much stress. If you've been in prison for 7 months, you've never talked to your friends, you never talked to your relative, COVID-19 comes, you're in a foreign country, you have no money, so someone is likely to go crazy, you know, so some of them have run mad. So these stories keep going on and on and on. The sad part is that the Ugandan government has not come out yet officially to address this issue. This is not just, you know, this one. There are so many. So we've seen these few, but there are over 400 of them. So they need relief from the government, you know, to come and say, we are going to rescue these Ugandans, because they had only gone to look for a job to try and survive. And when they are working, they always send money back home. So COVID-19 came and affected them, or some of them get problems and run out of the houses because they're always tortured. In most of the cases, they're always tortured, always mistreated. Some of them are locked up, you know, in houses and they start sweating. Some of them don't get food for a certain amount of time. So it's crazy scenarios when these Ugandan ladies, especially the ladies, go to work in the Arab countries. The Ugandan government hasn't done anything officially. You can only be repatriated if you have your own money to fund yourself. But these women do not have any money. I have more stories. I can't exhaust. These are in prison. Some of them have been sleeping on the streets, you know, of these Arab countries. So when COVID-19 came, everything became a huge mess. And Ugandans are themselves as a people have seen so many of these stories, so it's kind of normal, which is not normal. But they have seen so many of these stories, so I don't know, guys. I really don't know. This is quite difficult. But thank you so much for watching. If you've watched till the end, share your thoughts, any thoughts that you have. Do share them in the comment section. Check out my YouTube page called Hot Stories UG. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Rae Kembabazi, and see you on the next story. Bye.